Now we're going to be on page 29 going over some of these examples. It says, use what you know about parallel lines and transversals to label each of the missing angle measures in the picture. It also says, notice when parallel lines are crossed by a transversal, any pair of angles formed will either be congruent or supplementary. So we can figure out all the rest of the angles in here just by knowing one of them is 75. So we've got our two parallel lines that are cut by the transversal. So I like to always start with my vertical angles, and remember those are the angles that are that kind of make an X. They are opposite from each other. So 75 and the angle opposite from it are congruent. So that means that this angle would be 75 because of vertical angles. Then we can use our same side or our corresponding angles that are also congruent. So 75 is on the top of the parallel line on the left side of the transversal, which means that on the other parallel line, on the top of it, on the left side of the transversal, would be congruent because those are corresponding angles. So that is also 75. And then we can use that vertical angle, which makes an X from it, is also 75. And so we know that all of those angles are going to be 75 degrees. Now we can use our supplementary angles, or our linear pair, to figure out this missing space, because we know that these two angles make a straight line, which means they have to add up to 180. So we've got 75 plus something, so I'll just say x equals 180. If you solved that and you subtracted 75, then you would figure out that that missing angle would be 105 degrees. And then using vertical angles, what makes an X from that is also 105. Using corresponding angles from that original 105, that's on the top right of the transversal, well, on the top right of that parallel line, and on the top right of the other parallel line would be a congruent angle. So 105. Vertical angles means that the angle across from it is also 105. So we can figure out all of those angle measures just from that one angle.